Okay, we're live in a boatyard. Still in a boatyard. Let's give a minute to the official start time. Just making sure YouTube was working. Da-da-da. Echo on the audio. Total eclipse of the boat. There we go. And drink. And here comes the most important. The cat. The microphone's behind here. Let me flip around.
Meow.
Okay, here we are.
Hi. Kiki decided to come outside and say hi too. She doesn't normally come out into the yard. It's just way dirty here for her.
She wants to come out into the yard, and we just do not let her because dirty cats are sick cats. And yeah, she's getting very cooped up because it's coming up on a month.
So we're not quite ready to go live point, are we? We've got another minute?
No, we
are.
We're actually, it's 5 o'clock right now.
Okay, I'm going to go put the cat back inside because someone left the door open.
Well, okay, say hi.
Hi, I'm Cherie.
I'm Chris, and this is the official start of Live from the Boatyard.
And this is Kiki. I'm going to go put her back inside the boat because she's a big cat and she's heavy.
Okay, and we'll be back to hang out with you in just a minute.
Well, you can start.
Oh yeah, I'll start walking around, but there we go. Yes. Beautiful. We are at SeaLab Marina here in Miami. It's about as far up the Miami River as you can get. I'll walk over to the river this direction. It is a very industrial part of Miami. We are right at the end of the runway for Miami International. And, it's, as far as staying in a marina, it's actually not so bad. Staying in a boatyard, it's not so bad. But we are so looking forward to getting back on the water. And very much looking forward to getting to floating again. And hopefully soon. There's a lot of stuff has happened, although it seems like there's still a lot still to go this week ahead. But the river's beautiful, and yes. Oh, and perhaps most of all, we're tired drink of the airplanes. Hey. We've had 2 shots so far. People are starting to get hungover. Oh, we're playing the drinking game again, of course.
Oh, we need a drink then. Okay.
Yes. Oh, yeah. We'll have to go catch up. Yeah. So we're off Hole 30. So now this time we can actually drink something ourselves for the airplanes going overhead for the. And in case you weren't on the live chat last time, airplanes go overhead. We're embracing it.
Yes.
Take a shot.
But last time it was reported that the sound wasn't too bad, so I hope it's not that. It's louder for us, I think, than you guys. So if we pause during airplanes, it's mostly because we can't hear ourselves, even if you're hearing us. Anyway, so what have you updated them on?
I just walked out and showed them the water and said we've been here almost a month.
Okay, let's go start with the boat.
Okay, let's show you what's been going on here.
Do you want to give a recap of what happened?
Oh, yes, okay.
Yeah, so the reason we're here...
Drink, airplane. Okay, hopefully you can hear us.
So, see, can't hear myself think, never mind talk. All right, so just in case you're just tuning in, about a month ago we hit a channel marker leaving the Florida Keys. It was submerged it was the opening channel marker, and we bent our prop, our shaft, and our strut came off. Thankfully, the bolts just sheared.
Yep, so Towboat US towed us up the Miami River.
Right. So our destination was actually Fort Pierce for yard work anyway. So we liked the yard here at SeaLab. So instead of them just doing the repairs, we have opted for a lot of the projects that we had scheduled in Fort Pierce to be done here.
Yeah, including some of our Irma repairs and a few of the other things. Like we were actually tackling our big marine electronics upgrade, which was going to happen in Fort Pierce. So, well, might as well do it here in Miami. And
so that's one reason it's going on a month. We were planning to be in a yard for a month anyway. We might as well only haul out once was our theory. So let's show
you what's up.
Going on.
Another plane, by the way, for those playing at home.
Yeah, seriously, don't drink every shot. It's just bad. That much.
Okay.
Regulate yourself. Small sips.
Okay.
Or do water.
Spin around. Here is our boat. Well, here's one project we just tackled this weekend while most people were out of the yard. Is we pulled out our entire anchor chain for the first time.
It's called road, not
road,
chain.
yes. It is a chain, but it is a road. Boats are weird. And we put paint markers on it so we have a better idea of how much anchor we have out. And we actually measured how much anchor, because we've been told when we bought the boat it had 200 feet of chain. It actually has 150. It's good to know.
And in our training, we were told you're supposed to mark it off every 25 feet. You're supposed to use the colors red, white, blue, gold, because those are easy for us Americans to remember. And we're told every 25 feet. So the previous owner had marked them in those colors, except for we found out they were every 20 feet, not 25.
Yes.
So we have been setting our scope wrong.
Yes.
So we remeasured everything, and we're probably going to add another 150 feet of rope road to the end of the anchor chain so that we'll have a full 300 feet.
Okay. So that was the painting project. Now here's the next painting project. That's behind us. So,
all right, you want to talk about the anchor itself?
Yeah, okay, here, about the anchor.
So we're on the anchor. We had a Delta Plough style anchor, which was the style that was very popular in the 80s. It's kind of the pinnacle
and 90s.
Of 1980s and 90s.
And still
anchor.
now, actually, because half the new boats here still have it. It's a very popular anchor.
We discovered ours is only 35 pounds, which for a boat our size is probably undersized by quite a bit.
It's a good day size anchor, but not for like anchoring out for weeks in the boonies like we want to do.
So we have worked with our consultant, and we have decided on a new anchor that is more of the modern style, and going up to a properly sized one, and that should be in by the end of the week.
Yep.
And if you're a boater and you're curious, we've decided to go with the Ultra anchor.
Let me spin this back around.
Because it'll fit in our bowsprit roller without any modifications, which was a major point for us.
Yes, and it's a very highly regarded anchor. Now here, we sandblasted and are redoing all the bottom because it was very suspect.
Well, in Irma, if you remember, this side of the boat rubbed up against that piling, and a lot of the bottom paint had gotten removed, as well as some of the boot stripe or the blue. So our insurance, actually, they came out the week before Thanksgiving and to look at it, because they had told us when their initial adjuster came out that once we got it out of the water to look at the paint, and they would probably pay for some of the paint work as well. So the adjuster came out just before the holidays and handed us a check for the entire bottom job to be done. So they paid for the sandblasting, they paid for all new paint to be done on the bottom, as well as a new boot stripe. So we went with a lighter colored blue, the Technomadia blue, just to give it more of a pop of color. And we were only expecting them to cover maybe a quarter of the paint.
The 10-foot section where the piling had been rubbing, and it had rubbed through it. It rubbed right through the fiberglass in a lot of places, so it needed to be done. And to our delight, they didn't even question. They're like, okay, the whole bottom. I'm like,
we'll pay
really?
For the whole bottom.
Oh, okay,
like,
thank you.
I was not expecting that. And the extra bit that they paid from our expectations. Now, I guess it is actually good that they paid for us to sandblast everything, because that gave us an opportunity to inspect the hull and make sure that there was no pending or unseen damage. So there were no cracks or dents or anything of concern underneath.
Yeah.
So that was good for the insurance. So the extra that to us that they paid on the bottom paint job was actually would have been about what the channel marker payment would have been had we decided to file a claim.
Right, because we didn't file a claim on the channel marker, and
we didn't want two claims in, and
yes. Okay, now underneath, I'll stop here, is our new transducer. This was one of our splurges on the marine electronics front. It is a forward scanning sonar, so it'll let us see what's coming up under the boat before we hit it. So it's the Garmin Panoptix, 3D forward scanning sonar. A lot of people consider it a bit of a gimmick, but it can be very useful. And anyway, it's a cool toy. We wanted the coolest, geekiest thing out there, and well, that's what we got.
So this will give us the ability. It's not like going to see everything. Would it have prevented something with the channel marker? Only for going really slow.
It might have, but
who knows? But should hopefully, as we're poking out, because we're going to be in a lot of canals and things like that, so hopefully it'll allow us to poke out better anchorages with it as we're slowly approaching. This hole, in case you're curious, is the waste dump. If we were like 9 miles out to sea, we could dump waste directly into the ocean with that. We have never done that, and I don't really intend to. We do pump out stations.
Okay. So here we have props and struts and everything. I guess when we were last videoing, all of this was detached, and here we are back. The strut is what had broken off when we hit the channel marker, so that had actually ripped off the bottom of the boat. And the prop was damaged, the shaft was bent, and okay. I can't even hear myself talk right now, so I don't know how you can hear me.
Directional mic helps. But,
yes.
We'll get inside soon and we can talk more clearly.
And yeah, so that's all fixed. They've been working on the alignment, and they've put the special paint, or the metal paint, on all the metal work exposed
So we
here.
went with the Petite Trinidad on the bottom paint for the hull, and then we went with Trilux for the metals.
Right.
Which is supposed to be good stuff to help keep. And its bottom paint is an anti-fouling, which is what keeps barnacles and algae and things like that from growing on the hull. And we will still need to have divers go underneath the boat and chip some off that do get on there.
Yep, every so often.
What else do we want to show?
We can show the other the hole in the boat. We still have a hole in the bottom, so they better not try to put us in the water.
Our swim platform.
Yes, there we go.
Up here. The outer fiberglass, just the gel coat, had a lot of cracking in it. So one thing that we're going to have done here is they're going to be doing a full wax and compound, because we're due for it anyway. And they said that if we did that with them, that they would fix this up for us for free. Yeah. And they did. It looks beautiful.
The fiberglass guy spent an entire day redoing the edges that were all cracked and painting it again. And yeah, our swim platform looked old and ratty, and now it's starting to look brand new again. Kind of a neat surprise. We were supposed to be getting a few underwater lights along the transom here, but they haven't shown up yet. Over here's our hole. Let's see. Up here is where there had been a big giant metal transducer that wasn't hooked up to anything probably for the last 15 years. But it actually hung down, 6 inches down at the bottom of the boat. And our marine electronics guy's like, you really should try and get rid of that while you're out of the water. It's just adding turbulence and in the way, and it's not doing anything. So they agreed at the shop. They said, oh yeah, it's easy to take that off. It's easy to patch the hole. And they took it off really easy, but they haven't patched the hole yet. So this goes right up into our guest room.
So yeah, we'll be hoping that they fix that before they launch us.
Yes.
Anything else outside?
Anything else outside? Well, I guess you get we'll go up top and see the radar in a second. New radar.
Actually, the best radar view is...
Oh, okay. Nope. Okay. Give you a view of our new marine electronics from the distance here. Let's see. To go all the way over here? Might be too small on the screen, but we'll see. Okay, over that other boat you can see our new radar. And our new anchor lights, and
cellular antennas and new VHF antennas.
Yes, a lot of new stuff up there. We'll get a closer look inside. Oh, drink, another airplane. Oh, do you want to raise the chain? Okay. And now one thing here you can notice is all this paper is and all the painting work that's been going on means we have not been able to let a single drop of water out because on a boat all your gray tank water drains out the sides and
the through holes are right above the paint line.
Yes,
under the paper.
So we have had to carry all our dishes out to wash, not even wash our hands inside, not until the painting is done.
They were in painting this week.
Yeah, they actually were here over the weekend working on this. I think I am getting stronger legs up and down because we have to go down, up and down, even just to use the bathroom. So definitely getting a lot of leg work out here. And our house is a mess.
Shop dirt biscuits everywhere.
Well, let's go upstairs and see the electronics upstairs, then we'll hang out inside and read the chat some more. So, being in a shop, everything is a disaster. It's, actually for quite a while, actually Cherie spent several days up in Melbourne while I was here because there's just too much chaos because we had the living room, we had carpet cleaners in here, we had the shop guys working downstairs on the engines and the alignment and the struts, we had 2 marine electronics electricians here, and a fiberglass guy and a paint guy. It was a busy time in the shop.
Okay, so what do you got to show me?
Up here, inside, well, at the moment we got our electronics all pulled apart here, been pulling wires, but up here on the dash, we are putting in, new chart plotter down here, small one.
Here, I'll take the camera,
Okay.
you show.
Okay. Small chart plotter here, built into the dash. Move the outside radio upstairs. It's over here, nicely mounted in the dash. And then the big chart plotter, which is here, will be movable. This will be able to mount both upstairs and downstairs right here. So it's the big one's movable. And the radar and the sonar and everything will be able to display on any screen, and including also remotely onto our iPads, which will be very cool. This is a Garmin 7612 right here.
The touchscreen model.
Touchscreen, yes. We also have a new Garmin VHF radio that's going upstairs, and a Fusion audio stereo system that is also going upstairs. So let's go up here. So in here is where all the electronics have been happening. This is our little upstairs tech chamber. So we've got a Garmin network hub here to tie everything together. Oh, mosquito just went in my mouth. Yeah.
I'll let you guys look at the sunset while Chris gets the mosquito out of his mouth. Okay?
Yeah. Oh, that was gross. Okay, I'm back. And then an AIS system down here. Let's see, angle it down a little
See,
bit
I can't see because you've got the camera backwards.
more. Okay, there we are. And then the NME A2000 backbone's over there. The AIS is down there. And then this front panel is where the stereo and the VHF will go. And then up here is where the navigation chart plotter will mount outside. Perfect driving position. Fun stuff. And
You see, it's all chaos up here. That's still in installation mode.
yes. And up here, let's spin this around. Okay, up top, we got a new Garmin Doppler radar, 24 inches. A new anchor light that replaces our old and busted one that was actually damaged in Irma. And this is the GPS for the AIS. And this is a Selfie cell antenna that I've been actually wiring up just today. And we'll probably have another cell antenna on the other side. Been figuring out how the wire runs work. That's one of the challenges of boat work, is there's little holes. And then sometimes they connect to other little holes. And then they connect to other little holes. And you just go round and round and round trying to find out where things go. Okay.
All right, ready to go downstairs?
Let's go downstairs.
Go.
Okay. Okay. Now we'll set this up here and chat a bit. Maybe answer a few questions. Okay. And maybe have some wine of our own. Would you like some?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna bring up the chat screen. If you guys
Bring up the wine screen.
If you guys have questions, go ahead and queue them up for us, and we'll be happy to answer them. The problem with eating mosquitoes is the drumstick is way too small.
It was a meaty one.
Pop out the chat window so I get it big. So a question about how much all this is costing. Well, we don't have the full bill yet. We will categorize it all later once we have the final stuff in. I fear if I give out quotes on what the estimates are and it comes out higher, people will be making decisions around bad stuff. Just know none of it is out of our expectations. We had budgeted for all the electronics upgrades already when we bought the boat. Insurance is covering some of this from the Irma damage, and it's a boat. All the cliches about boats being holes in the water of which you throw money in are it's all part of the lifestyle, and it's something you budget for. So cheers to you guys.
We're drinking smoking loon because we're loons for staying in a boatyard for a month.
So I see a lot of questions about the cost. So we will follow up with videos and posts later once we have the final bills and we can give you accurate information.
We don't know how many surprises might be lurking on the final bills.
What airline do you see the most going over?
Well, we see the bottoms, and not all the airlines paint the bottoms of their planes, but some of them do. In 10 minutes, my favorite plane of the day is the 5:30 Sunset British Airways flight. It's a beautiful 747. It's really low, right over our heads. It's so low I can get to know the captain. We're becoming buddies. I wave. But yeah, 5:30, 747, and the sunset light. My favorite flight.
Let's see if there's any other questions in there. Can the sonar see manatees?
Yes, actually. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
And yeah, you could actually, some of the demo videos on YouTube show, you can see people snorkeling. You'll see them in front of your boat and going down and up, and their bubbles and stuff. It's pretty neat. I mean, it's super low res sonar resolution, but there's people snorkeling in front of you. Then you could aim for them to run them over, I guess. So people asking what happened to our RV. Well, we've got an RV trip coming up. We're actually excited to be moving back into our RV in February, probably.
Yes, so our RV is stored up in Melbourne, Florida, which is where my mom lives. I think Mom might be there. Hi, Mom, if you are. So we need to be out to the RV Entrepreneur Summit in Central Texas in late February. We are presenting there. And so we're trying to figure out now what we're going to do with the boat for the winter, because obviously the yard repairs and the extra stuff has we don't keep a schedule, but it has put the schedule behind a little bit.
It has impacted the schedule, yes.
So we are currently seeking out storage options for the boat, and then we've got a couple trips planned between now and mid-January, and then away from the boat and the RV, and then we will be moving back into the RV and making our way from Florida to Texas. Probably be on the RV anywhere between a month or two,
or 3.
We'll see.
Yeah, and our whole intention has been to switch back and forth between bus and boat, and hopefully not spend quite so much time in the shop with either. But that's part of the adventure, and this has actually been part of the adventure because we're learning so much about boats and our boat in particular by getting to help take it apart and put it back together. So it's good stuff.
Yep. So we'll hopefully have the plans. They're hoping to splash us by the end of next week. That's kind of the on schedule.
But they said that last week too.
They said that last week and the week before. So there you go. It's yard time. But once we are splashed, we're making arrangements for storage and then for our holiday travels and everything else. So.
And we don't want to get too far from the yard just because we have a lot of stuff to check out and test and tweak. And yeah, we don't want to be 100 miles away and have to turn around. So we'll be hanging out here for a bit too, in the area.
Yes. So yep, RV travel's coming up really soon, and hopefully the first part of 2018 will be in the RV. So those of you who've been missing the RV travels, we've been missing it too. I think there's a question which we prefer is the RV over the boat, and if we had a favorite, we would pick one and stick with it, but we genuinely love both. We still love RVing.
Oh yeah, I whenever somebody gives me a choice or a buffet, I'm like all of the above.
But yes, so our intentions long term as we explore the Great Loop, we'll be heading north, and winters will be too cold to boat comfortably, and the RV will be waiting for us in the south. And part of this trip this winter is getting the bus halfway across the country, storing it there. And then in future winters, we'll start heading down and hopefully spending them in the desert Southwest in the RV is kind of our long-term goal. and then returning to the boat in spring
Yep.
when it thaws out or melts or whatever it does up in those cold states.
So somebody asked where are the solar panels going to go. We're planning to cover the entire Bimini with solar panels. The solar project has gotten postponed and delayed. We were before Irma, we were just days away from starting on the solar installation, and now between all the other things we've been tackling, the solar is, those plans are just on hold, but not for too long, hopefully.
Right. So because the solar tax credit has been extended for another year or two.
Well, it hasn't been extended. But it doesn't expire until the end of next year. So we have until next year to do it.
So we're going to probably do it next year. We'll probably do it just before we start boating again in the spring once we get our RV travels done. That will, the batteries are brand new, and if any tech upgrades happen between now and then we can take advantage of them.
Yep.
Does it make sense to install all that sort of stuff and then just have it sit?
Actually, I would like to have solar installed just because it keeps things alive and monitored and don't worry about power being disconnected. But yeah, it's soon. We'll have solar soon.
Yes, there's too many projects. There's only so much you can reasonably handle. And remember, we're trying to work full time too during all this, and he's managing a lot of the projects, the project manager, and it's been crazy. It's been a crazy month, and especially after the Irma stuff down in, we're ready for some serious time. Not dealing with chaos would be nice.
Yes.
Are we getting much sleep?
I think we're actually, because ever since we did the whole 30, it kind of reset our night owlness quite a bit. So we've been going to bed relatively early, but we've been getting up crazy early, like 6:37.
The planes start launching around 6:30, really, really crazily, and then the yard staff starts getting in and starts working around 7. So that's pretty much what wakes us up in the morning. The folks working on our boat, they've been very, very courteous and not coming aboard until they see us up and about. So we make an effort to wave out, say, hey, we're up, you can start working. But yeah, all the boats around us, we're the only one living aboard here in the yard at present time. So.
Only the third they've ever had live aboard here. They find it very amusing to have gringo tenants.
Yes, we are known as the gringo tenants here. It's, if you don't know, the yard, I would say 90% of the staff here only speak Spanish and very limited English. So
yes, some zero English, like zero, and some speak okay. But yeah, we're always trying to find translators, or hopefully we're agreeing to things that yes, that sounds good. Yep, I'm down with that. Good. And I might have
but
just
they're super friendly. Today they were working overtime this morning, and they set up a little DJ stand out here, and we're playing music, and they brought beer and Cuban sandwiches, and they were sharing them with us.
Yeah, they waved us over and handed us beer and some fried pork and bread and all this.
I didn't eat it, but you did.
I was like, whoo, okay, hey, thank you.
All right, so there are some questions about the new equipment on the radar arch and how is that going to impact our air clearance. So many know that we bought this specific boat because it has a folding hydraulic arch to get under the low clearance bridges. But even with the new stuff that's up there, it is only 2.5 inches taller than what we had before.
Well, it's actually, it's only just a few inches taller than we had before, but that's with the new anchor light, and the anchor light can actually twist down. So overall, actually, we're 5 inches shorter. 4 or 5 inches shorter than we were before, so we gained a few inches of clearance by being able to swing the light down. And then, of course, if we want to take all the biminies apart, we can, with only 15-20 minutes of effort, fold the entire hydraulic arch down, and that's still possible.
And we get down to a 12-foot bridge clearance with this boat. But
13 maybe.
But we would consider it 13 because...
I'd be scared.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's... And I tested it yesterday with the new radar up there. I transformed everything and brought it all down, made sure none of the new wires were pulling when the arch was in folded mode, and it worked. So yeah, I did the test run. Still works.
So yeah, no impact on the
clearance.
On the clearance really, and actually it's better the way that this is. Because remember, we had an anchor light and we had a radar up there before. This is just replacing stuff with newer stuff that's up there, and the anchor light's LED, which will be battery saving overnight.
Yes, much better.
Yes.
Yes, a lot less power overnight. Although I'm just kind of shocked that it's not a standard feature for anchor lights to have dusk till dawn built into them. It's really, I searched quite a bit, and you can't get LED and dusk till dawn and also combination anchor / masthead light. That simple combination of features just does not exist.
Any enterprising entrepreneurs out there who want to go into the marine electronics, there's an idea. There you go.
I mean, I'll probably eventually just add a little photo circuit so I can add my own dusk till dawn to the anchor light switch, but it's just like, it's not built in. It seems like it should be built in. It's an anchor light. Oh well.
Barry would like to know, will we make it to the Great Lakes next summer? So our general plan with the Great Loop is to do it over several years. Most loopers do it somewhere between 8 months and a year following the seasons. We want to do it very slow because, well, we're slow mads.
Slow mads, yes.
We're ready to slow down our pace in general, stay places for a month at a time, and that's why we'll be moving back into the RV for the winters once it gets too cold. This year, we definitely, by next August, which is when peak hurricane season picks up in the southeast, is we want to be out of the southeast for sure.
We want to be past up north of Cape Hatteras, and so at least up to the Chesapeake and out of the bullseye zone for hurricanes.
So that might be as far north as we make it this year, or 2018.
There's a lot to see in the Chesapeake area.
Yes.
Love to go to Washington, D.C. by boat. Would be awesome.
Yeah, so we want to enjoy the experiences along the way. So I would anticipate that Erie Canal in Canada will be summer 2019, and I would not anticipate Great Lakes will be until 2020 or 2021, because that's kind of as you're rounding out the end of the loop is coming.
Oh no, you still got all the Tennessee waterways. I mean, there's so much to see.
Yeah.
There's so many side trips too. You can go all the way up to Pittsburgh or up to Chattanooga, and
the boating season as we head north will be getting shorter and shorter. So as the years go on, you'll see our time on boat versus time on RV shift. So right now we're doing mostly boat because we're
in the south.
Well, we're in the south and we're getting our feet wet. Hopefully not literally, but we're learning and embracing this new lifestyle. So you will see it shift back to more equal boat RV and potentially even more RV than boat as the season that we're in grows. So.
Yep. Looking forward to some time in the desert Southwest.
Yes. So a couple questions on the coating on the shaft, strut, and prop. As we said, we're using Trilux is what we selected for the anti-fouling on the metal. Yep. And it, of course, has a proper barrier coat underneath it as well. Yep. How long before you get back on your travels? Well, when you're
consider this part of our travels.
Yeah. I mean, while we're on the Heart, we are technically traveled. You haven't been to Miami much since you were in high school?
Yeah, so we've been enjoying Miami. We actually, our marine electronics guy, hey Chris, if you happen to watch this, gave us some recommendations of restaurants and said you have to go see the Wynwood neighborhood. And we went there, and oh my gosh, it's amazing. It's this incredible art district in Miami with great food and art, and we
are traveling right now. We're getting out exploring Miami as we can. Joe, the computer guy, who is usually on these chats, he's actually on a cruise this weekend, but he came down before he got on his cruise, and we went out to dinner with him in Wynwood District and had an amazing time. Nina and Paul of Wheeling It are now down here for the winter, and we got together with them and explored Coral Gables.
Yep, walked up and down the Miracle Mile, had yummy stuff on sticks and great sushi.
Yes. The weekend before, we did our live cast from an Airbnb that we rented down in Miami Beach for a weekend. So we are getting out, exploring, and getting around Miami. So we consider this part of our travels.
And actually, Miami's impressing us more. It's cooler than we thought. If we hadn't had this incident,
I would have passed by.
We would have been like hurrying past Miami, just because it just felt like big city chaos. And being kind of forced to be in the heart of a city has been good. We actually, another new experience for us is we're in a city. We can try grocery delivery because we don't have a car. We did grocery delivery the other day with Instacart.
And we're too busy. Oh, it's so nice to do the grocery delivery.
Yeah, somebody come right to the boatyard with a little wagon. They bring it right up to the bottom of the ladder, and it's like all our groceries. Wow.
Well, it was actually, so last weekend we actually went up to Melbourne, Florida to visit my mom for Thanksgiving. Right. And I stayed up longer with her because she was, I wanted no chaos. But I used the excuse that she was having a minor medical procedure to stay up there. But he came back to the boat. We took Tri-Rail down, and Kiki could travel on Tri-Rail with us, so that was fun. So he came back to the boat on Sunday so that he could be here for all the installation stuff. And he just didn't get a chance to get out to the grocery store because we have to take Lyft or Uber to do that.
Well, and also the entire time that Cherie was gone, me and the marine electronics guys, we had the kitchen pulled apart. So the fridge was out so we can pull wires behind it. That's the main cable chase up from the engine room to the flybridge. So I couldn't even step into the kitchen or open the fridge door. So food was interesting challenge while Cherie was gone.
So once I knew that the fridge was pushed back, I went on Publix website and just did a grocery order with our standard stuff and had it show up an hour later, including a sandwich for him for lunch so he wouldn't starve anymore because he was living on nuts.
Yes.
Let's see.
So the geeks say, hey geeks, good you guys are watching.
Yes, geeks, we need to get together.
Yes, you guys are close to us. This is the Geeks on Tour, not the RV Geeks, but
RV geeks are coming back from their experience going
Yes.
through the Panama Canal with the other friends, the Winds.
Yes.
So,
But Geeks on Tour are not nearby, so we need to get together, and we've not been to Coral Castle or Vizcaya. Coral Castle is way down south, so that's probably out of range to get to easily, but hey, they're ready. Let's hook up. So let's take this offline and plan our geek rendezvous.
us. Let's see. Let's see. Jim says, I'm a shipper for General Dynamics in Groton, Connecticut, which Groton, Connecticut's where my mom grew up. My grandfather actually worked for GD as well, and also Pfizer. As you get close up, I'd love to dive and inspect the hull for you. I race sail yachts. Awesome. We are definitely planning to divert over to the Mystic Seaboard area because I have a lot of family there myself. My aunts and uncles all live up there, and we're really looking forward to boating in the area. So we'll definitely take you up on that, Jim. Can you use some of your boat electronics on your RV?
I'm trying to think. RVs tend not to have radar or sonar, and the chart plotters are completely different, so I can't see any overlap from boat to RV other than potentially the Garmin action cameras will actually integrate into our marine electronics, and we could probably use those on an RV too. I mean, they're just Wi-Fi cameras, so potentially that, but otherwise they're all very different systems.
Sandra would like to know, does it get extra busy in Florida at this time of year being winter with all the Canadians and U.S. boaters escaping the winters? And that is definitely for sure. Florida is a popular snowbird destination both for RVers and boaters, and it is a challenge. And that's one of our challenges with trying to find some place to be this winter. We are not ready to make massive miles north to get out of the popular areas. So marinas down here are going anywhere for $1,500 to $3,000 a month. Since we're planning to...
In-season rates are crazy.
Yes, and since we're planning to really not be aboard the boat all that much this winter, that's a crazy amount of money just to store a boat. So we're looking at dry storage options and seeking out some alternatives, and we should have that wrapped up by the end of this week, hopefully.
Yep. Yeah, because, and also, even at, $3,000 a month marina slip, you call them, and they're like, okay, we've got a wait list, and we could put you on the list for this, and we might be able to get you in. It's like, because Irma destroyed, even all the way up the coast, destroyed a lot of marinas and a lot of slips, there's high demand for places to park boats right now, even unusually so. And that's a couple of recommendations for the Google Translation app. I think the Google Translate app, and I have been making use of that. The downside I've discovered, and I wish the Translate app, it seems to only focus on voice right in front of you. And a lot of times I'm trying to understand a conversation that's happening, 10, 15 feet away, and I'd love to hear what two people are talking about our boat. And it does not pick up anything unless the microphone is right there, which is
probably a privacy feature.
Well, it's also it's not so much privacy. It's most like phone type things. They try to focus on just the sound in front of you, not the sound far away. The Translate app has not been as useful as I'd want. I just wanted to be able to babble fish it and be able to overhear conversations and all that other stuff.
So Peter asked, he's referencing back to our video on why we selected the Bayliner 4788, and he would like to know, after we've been on it now for a few months, are we still really happy with it? Absolutely. It has definitely been the right boat. It's bigger than we wanted, of course, and that definitely has its challenges with finding marina space and extra costs and things like that, but so far it's been totally worth it. The layout continues to impress me,
and because it was an older boat that we didn't have to spend a fortune on, now it doesn't feel so bad spending the money on the electronics and all the upgrades we want. We got an older boat with old electronics and stuff like that, so we had basically a blank slate. I'd feel bad having gotten something 10 years newer that still I would have wished to replace everything, but it wouldn't have made nearly as much sense.
Pamela asks on RVs, if you had to do it over again, would you renovate the bus or buy a Class A? And absolutely 110% renovate the bus.
Yeah. No, I prefer having the cool, unique stuff. And unless the Class A, the next RV I want to buy new, I want self-driving hybrid electric. And if they do that, then I'll consider it.
Tempted.
Yeah, but of the mainstream Class A's, I'd much rather have a vintage bus.
Yeah, so we actually did a video on buy a new RV or renovate an old one. If you look back on that, that would have been late 2015 if you look in the live stream playlist on our channel. And we went over the pros and cons of both of those. You might find that one interesting. But yeah, totally. Renovating the bus we love our bus and we love everything we did to it.
And we love how unique it is and how custom it is to us and how we designed every little nook and cranny of it. And you can't get that if you're buying new. And
yeah, so we've put easily 120 grand into the bus, including purchasing it, our electronics upgrades and all the renovations that we've done on it. And there's no way that we could buy a brand new or even slightly used Class A with the features that we've put on the bus for anything close to that amount of money.
Right. Now, if there ever happens to be the Tesla RV that's got autopilot, then we'll talk. But until then, I'm very sticking with the bus. I mean, they are launching a Tesla to Mars right now, so next month. They can do anything, right? They can launch a Roadster to Mars. They can come out with a Tesla RV. Alon, I know you're watching this. Call me.
I know, Elon blocked you, I thought. Okay, let's see. John would like to know, have we changed out our interior and exterior lights to be LED? So the previous owner had changed out most of the interior lights to already be LED. He did a mismatch job, so each one looks completely different.
So we're going to be redoing the lights at some point.
And we'd also like them to be dimmable because we like a lot of control over our lighting, so we can go to mood lighting at night and during the day of work lighting. So we will be redoing all the lighting, but it is currently LED, so that is good. Yep. Most of the exterior, we got a couple halogens, but we know which ones are LED at this point.
Yeah, the outside, the flybridge lights, basically none of the outside lights are LED yet, but that will happen.
We will continue that. Redoing all the lighting is something that we want to do. And yeah, we're really big fans of live with what you've got for a while, so you really know what the items are that you want to change and put the effort into. So that's, we've done that now. We've been aboard the boat since March, and we now have a really good feel on the modifications we really want to do.
Yep.
So, Bianne is, she was thinking about full-time RVing. Curious if we had to choose between the bus and the boat, which would you go with now? And I am thankful we don't have to choose.
Yeah, that's... Don't put a gun to my head. I want both.
Yeah, why can't we have both?
Yes.
So we love both, and it really, as far as your own decision, is what inspires you most. Not everyone's in a position to maintain two vehicles at once. We're blessed. We're right now in our mid-40s. We are at, we've saved for this, and we've had 11 years on the road with an RV, and now exploring by boat.
Yeah, and quite a few people try to have RV plus house or
boat
RV
plus
or house plus boat.
Or all three.
We're just doing two.
Yep. And the value of our boat plus our RV together is still less than a typical mid-range house,
suburban house,
in most any city that we'd want to live. So,
and those houses don't move, which is really weird. It's not. I mean, if I'm paying that much for a house, I expect it to get moved. Moving castle.
So yeah, we don't want to have to make that choice, and we want to be able to switch it up between the two. Let's see. So Jay says he's going to program us an Internet of Things for our Dust to Dawn issue.
Sweet, cool.
Jim comments that we look great for all the stress and lack of knowledge. It's all about doing it. And that's absolutely you can't always control the things that happen, but you can control your response to it. And definitely with our experiences with the bus and the trials and tribulations of it have prepared us for dealing with this.
But when bad things happen, you can either freak out about them, or I like to think things break, they jump to the top of the upgrade list, or they just, they change your agenda and your priorities around. But it doesn't mean it has to be a miserable trip. You can enjoy it and learn from it, and we've been learning about boats and learning Spanish here and learning about Miami and getting to be in an industrial part of, it's kind of a unique experience. I wouldn't want to be here forever, but for a month or two, this is actually kind of cool.
Let's see.
Oh, what else is here?
Oh, the video bombing cat. Oh, Kiki must have walked behind us.
Yeah, Kiki walked behind us a few minutes ago.
Okay.
Keith asked if we found out what's going on with the generator, and actually, no, that's still on the pending list. That's things that need to be fixed before we can leave here. Because there's been so much other work going on, the electrician here has been like, it just doesn't make sense for me to try and troubleshoot the generator because it's right there in the main passageway getting on and off the boat. And it's really hard to run the generator unless you're in the water because it uses water cooling. So you'd have to hook up a hose system, basically replumb the generator just temporarily, just to even start it while you're up here on the jack. So I'm imagining we'll figure out what's up with the generator first day or two once we're back in the water, but still tied up here at the boatyard.
Cool. So question of, do we ever want kids? And we are child-free by choice. I have known since I was a teen that being a primary parent was not the role I wanted in life.
Yeah, we have a cat.
You have a cat. You were on the fence if you wanted kids or not when we met. But
I can go either way.
But I had a hysterectomy about 10 years ago, so it's not even an option anymore. No, I prefer memes to genes is the way that we impact future generations. So that's probably one reason why we like sharing so much, is we know that our experience is able to be passed on to many people. And we know many families who are also doing that for their kids and for many people. So it's awesome.
We love to get to borrow other people's kids sometimes. So,
I love to be the cool aunt. That's awesome.
Yes.
But not that we dislike kids, but I just knew that's not a role I wanted in life.
Yes.
And we're too old to be parents now anyway. Jonathan would like to know what you did to Elon Musk to get banned by him.
I'm not sure I'm blocked, but I used to just tweet him a couple times a week saying, hey, when are you going to have a flat towable Tesla? When's there's a Tesla RV? Over and over. You know, I just tweet at him on occasion, and I don't think he's ever responded. Maybe he did once, but I don't know. Maybe the only reason I can assume he hasn't responded again is he's blocked me. That's my guess.
Okay. Did we get more cleats? So on our last video, if you just we're still catching up the recorded video stuff, and I just put a video out on our hurricane preps, and in that I mentioned I wanted more cleats, and no, we have not tackled that in this boatyard.
No. Yeah, no.
So I think there's just too many other projects. So that will be a future upgrade, I think. It's
I'm
where
just
to put
thinking
them.
Velcro too.
Oh, Velcro works for boats.
Yeah, we could just do marine Velcro
Sure.
and cover the boat with that, and just Velcro into docks. Seems good.
Yeah, that'll withstand another hurricane, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Will would like to know, what are the underwater lights we're going to install?
Oh.
Are you going to install? What will they be used for?
So if we're having underwater dinner parties and stuff, we set up furniture and stuff down under the boat. We can have light.
Your underwater dinner party with Elon. Right?
Yes. No, for fish. Yes. No. It will be mood lighting outside. It looks pretty.
And it's a way for Kiki to look at fish while she's on.
That was her request. We seen actually when I started researching underwater lights. It's like, is this something worth doing? And they range from about $100 each up to about $10,000 each. And this we're treating it as just an experiment. We're just going to put some basic, really cheap underwater lights and see what we think of them, because putting the ones that could do with underwater disco light show and change colors.
That's not what I want. I don't want people coming to us because they think a party's going on.
Yeah, no, I just want to have a little bit of mood lighting in the water. Water lights in the water look beautiful. So that's
something for us to look at from inside while the mosquitoes are outside biting us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how it's gonna roll, Okay. How was the readjustment of the 30-day food reset working out for you? So we went pretty much right into Thanksgiving. So
we did spend a week transition. Yeah, we did a full week transition.
Yeah, we still, I would say 2 meals out of the day we pretty much stick to fairly strict Whole30. And then 1 meal a day, we have 1 or 2 food groups that aren't on Whole30.
Yeah, it did completely reset our overall diet, and we have not been buying bad stuff since.
Yeah, and portion sizes are definitely down. We're not snacking in between meals. We're enjoying a glass of wine a couple times a week, or sometimes a few times a week.
Yeah, but not multiple bottles at once, so it's good.
Multiple bottles at once, okay. We too would make the best parents. No, we wouldn't. I know that for a fact.
The best parents are the ones who
want it.
Well, and also, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know I would not. I would not have the patience to be a parent. And I have high respect for those that choose parenting, because it's the toughest work, I think.
Yes.
And I'll stick with being the cool aunt.
We have not double-checked our fire extinguishers to see if they're part of the recall.
Yes,
thanks for the reminder. We do need to double-check that.
Yes, we need to do that.
Yes, I'm very happy to have wine again. I was missing it.
Peter would like to know, can we talk about what we're using for cell signal boosting on the boat? So mobile internet is what we do for our day job. It's tracking mobile internet options for RVers and now cruisers, and that's all over at mobileinternetinfo.com. We also have another YouTube channel specifically for that topic, the Mobile Internet Resource Center. You can join that one.
And we're ramping up just researching marine options and marine. We just got our first 2 marine-specific antennas that we're experimenting with, but we'll talk about them all on the other site.
Yeah, so we really, most of our boating so far has been in very strong signal areas. So we haven't really needed a booster or antennas, except for when we were cruising down the Everglades. And if you look at our our travelogue episode from the Everglades one, which was...
Couple travelogues ago.
Yeah, if you look in the Great Loop Travelogue series in the playlist, that one there... that one, we actually did a geek out section talking about the antennas that we were using then to get signal where we said we should, everyone said we should not have any.
Yep. So we used boosters then, and managed to get online from Shark River, where it's about as far in the middle of the Everglades as you could possibly be.
Those of you playing the drinking game with the planes, how you doing? Housing.
Is it easy to adjust to sleeping on a boat? It's kind of weird to adjust to sleeping on a boat that's on the hard, because it's not that. But on the boat is such a nice, gentle rocking motion. It's really easy to sleep. But on the hard,
no movement.
It just kind of got a vibration when somebody's walking back and forth, and we're slightly angled back as opposed to, when we're, we're slightly angled forward. When we're in the water, we're slightly angled back. So it's just kind of it feels different to sleep on the hard for sure.
Yep, I'm looking forward to being back in water. Hope we have a couple weeks of that before we go off for our holiday travels.
Yes.
So looking forward to being back in the water, and that should happen by end of this week if they wrap everything up. We got a hole in the hull they got to fix where the old transducer came out. The painting got done. The wash and wax and compound, they said that should take 3 full days to do.
Yeah, but there's quite a few little things that I worry how much they're going to take to add up. So we're going to be sitting down tomorrow morning to try and figure out what's the plan for this week, because there's still a lot's been done, but
let's see. Someone wanted to talk anchors. Asking if we went with the Rockna 4055. So we decided not to go with the Rockna or the Mantis, which are the 2 very popular anchors right now. And the main reason for that is they both have this roller bar that goes on the top that isn't compatible with the bow roller that we have. Right. So we would have had to do some modifications. Now, other than that, they were high on our list, and we just decided not to do the
And there's the Rockna Vulcan, which is their version without the roller bar, which was probably our second choice. But then it still might need a little bit of a modification because it needs a little bit of a support to hold it up when it comes up and over, because it's got a curved shape. So the easy, simplest thing was the Ultra Anchor,
which is also highly regarded. A lot of people said if they had the money, they'd go with it. And we said, well, we're spending money anyway, so why not? So we went with the Ultra Anchor, and I think we're going with the 73-pound version. We decided to go one size up for the one, because the one recommended for our boat size, we were just at the edge of the recommendations. Yes. And we said, since we're going to be anchoring a lot, or we hope to.
Yes, and same chain and same everything for the one size up. So, it
was only it was only $200 or $300 more, and our
you get peace of mind.
Yep, and our windlass can handle it and everything else. So we decided to go one up. It's going to be a huge improvement over our Delta 35, which is undersized for our boat, and we've been putting out the wrong scope apparently because our chain was marked incorrectly. So, we decided to go up. We talked with the manufacturer. We talked with our boat consultant. I just want to give a huge shout out to Jeff Gow, who is, we had hired him to be our project manager when we got up to Fort Pierce to handle, to help us walk us through all the boat projects, because we're going to be in a do-it-yourself yard and hiring contractors and him.
And he was going to basically coordinate all of that, and so we could actually not be able to focus on our day jobs.
Because I have a book to rewrite. We're right now trying to get the next edition of the Mobile Internet Handbook out, and that's got to be out by the first of the year now. So trying to get that done in all this chaos. It's been fun. But anyway, when we hit the channel marker, Jeff has been on call for us almost, I think every day we have a check-in call with him.
Every few days, yeah.
And he's been wonderful. And
it kind of worked out because actually, was it right before or after? Yeah, it was right before we hit the channel marker. Where he let us know that he might not be able to work with us in Fort Pierce because he had a contract coming up that would have him up in New York that would, that he'd have to say yes to. And so we're heading to Fort Pierce to work with him, and it turns out he's going to New York, which he ended up doing, but he's still giving us advice while we're in Miami. So if we'd been up in Fort Pierce, we would have been there without somebody on hand to work with. So, oh well.
Other than on the phone.
Yeah,
like
other than on the phone, so we might as well be here.
But it's been wonderful, and in my opinion, he is severely underbilling us for the value he's giving us. So
don't tell him that.
He owes me an invoice.
Yes.
So yeah, he's been wonderful. It's been an awesome resource to have an experienced captain who specializes in this sort of stuff, advising us along the way.
Somebody asked if we'll live cast putting the boat back in the water, and good odds of that happening, but we'll plan that when it happens.
Right. So when they put the boat back in the water, we need to also be ready to be doing line handling and things like that. So we will see. We will see.
Yep.
We don't try to pre-plan too many live casts because life gets in the way. It's just crazy.
Nikita wants to know what our most ambitious future travel plan is. Something on our wish list. Anything you can share? Well, doing the Great Loop is, our one right now. That's
6,000-mile journey on boat.
Yeah, so that's a pretty ambitious. That's our focused travel plan right now. And then going to Mars. I'm down for that.
Mars,
but that's still a few years out.
Okay.
Mars. Not in this boat. We'll have
and then there's the whole airship, traveling by airship thing.
Oh yeah. I'm still trying to find a good airship for sale, but working on that.
Our focus is right now our travels that we can do with Kiki, and then once we are post-pet, which we hope is a long time for now, we will probably be looking at more international excursions.
Yep.
But we have a first timer from Montana. And their question is, are we full-timers on a houseboat?
Well, this boat is our house.
It is our house, and it is a boat, but it is not a houseboat.
Yes, it is Bayliner 4788.
Which is a motor yacht, because we plan to be cruisers, which means we will be moving very often.
But it's a house, and
it's our house, and it's a boat.
It's just words.
We're not full-timers. We are half-timers on the boat and half-timers in an RV. We used to be full-time RVers. Yes. So you can get a whole bunch more if you go to our channel. Our intro video will give you a quick catch up to who we are and what we do. John would like to know, how is the boatyard with receiving package delivery? I'll be doing this in about a month in New Jersey.
This one's been great.
This one's been fantastic. We just asked them when we got here if we could have packages received, and they said no problem. So we have been having packages come here, and all the packages actually usually go up to the other end of the marina, which is Jones Marina owns a property, and then they're subletting this end of it. So a lot of times we end up bringing their mail back and forth for them.
We've had zero problems getting packages.
No, it's been great. And a lot of times FedEx or UPS comes to this gate right here, and we catch them and just sign for them, so we're not disturbing the office staff because they're busy enough.
Sean wants to know, what kind of plug are we going to do for the hole in the boat? They're going to just put it's a fiberglass plug, or we could just start collecting corks from wine.
I was thinking that, or like a tampon, right? That'll work.
No, that's absorbent. It'll soak up the ocean, I guess.
Oh, okay. Probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah, but yes. Yeah, they're going to make a fiberglass plug. It's apparently very simple to plug holes. That's what they say.
Are we still planning to make a visit stop in Fort Pierce?
Yeah.
And we don't make plans. It's too far out to we will more than likely be storing the RV somewhere in South Florida through springtime.
Stowing the boat
somewhere, and then we will be making our way north in the spring once we return from our RV trip.
But Fort Pierce is
on the way.
Yeah, is on the way, and I've heard wonderful things about the Fort Pierce City Marina. Is a wonderful place to either go to a mooring ball or go into the marina, and it's a great downtown stuff. So odds are, if we can get in, we'll be stopping for a little bit of time in Fort Pierce. No
question: do we plan to decorate our boat for Christmas? Probably not. Right now, any decorations we put up would be in the way and just add to clutter. Right. So maybe once we're in the water, we might put something up. But this year we're going away for the holidays for family. So I don't know that we'll go through the effort. We need less chaos in our lives right now, not more.
Yes. We'll think of something, but it'll be very minimal just because of the mess.
I think we might get a Santa hat for the cat.
Yes. Santa hat for the cat.
There we go. Joyce says we have such a great attitude. We're an inspiration. Thank you. And I have to give you guys a shout out and our patrons a shout out. Is having an outlet to share with this and to talk about it because we're mainly up here alone. We don't have daily interaction.
And we don't speak the language.
And we don't speak Spanish. Having an outlet to share this with and know that we're not, at least emotionally, alone through all this means the world to us. So you guys tuning in, listening to us jabber on about this, laughing with us, it means the world to us. It really does. And it helps us not feel all alone through this. How thick is the hull on our Hatteras? It's not a Hatteras, it's a Bayliner. And it's about...
I can show you.
Yeah. We got a piece of the hull from where they put in the transducer.
Apparently it's thicker than the average boat.
So that's the piece of the hull, if you want to see it. And it's about 1.5 to 2 inches.
It's 1.5 inches. And the transducer, he originally sized it for basically 1.25 inches. And it was a 1/4 inch too short for him to screw it in. He had to spend an entire day undoing all the work he'd done to set up the transducer. It was because he's like, I wasn't expecting it to be so thick. Yeah,
so that's a constant thing we hear about the Bayliner motor yacht line is the hull is substantial. And we've heard even here at the boatyard in the few English words we can translate, is that most of the luxury yachts that they work on here are much thinner than this. Yes. So we feel good about that part.
Yeah, and Bayliner is always has been a budget boat, relatively compared to a lot of things out there of size, but because they were such a mass-produced boat, they were able to put the quality, they got a lot more bang for the buck. So there's a lot of good bones inside of it.
Joyce says she's going to donate to our wine fund as soon as possible. We do appreciate that. Thank you. Yes. If you want to say thanks, we don't do these videos for money. We're not asking you to fund us. Even our patrons, every month we turn around the proceeds and give them away to other organizations or people who need the money more. We don't share for money. It's not who we are. We share for the community. But if you do want to say thanks, you can go to technomadia.com/thanks, and there's some ideas there, and that ranges everything from just being engaging with us, talk with us, comment with us. But if you do want to do a tip, we do have a way to
And today's wine, I saw that the question was, what are we drinking? This is the original Smoking Loon Cabernet Sauvignon. So that is today's thing because we're loony in a boatyard.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Okay, I am seeing comments come up. Oh, there we go. Okay. No. Cherie would like to know, do family members visit us on the boat? And indeed, in April we got married on the boat, and both of our families stayed aboard the boat with us. We actually moved into the RV for that. And my mother has joined us several times on the boat and actually cruised with us for portions of it. It's one reason we wanted a 2-bedroom. With two baths.
And right now the second bedroom is piled to the ceiling with stuff that's been moved out of the way for all the chaos. So we're looking forward to having our second bedroom back.
Yes. So we definitely want to be able to have visitors come and join us on the boat for portions of the journey. Have friends join us. Probably won't be taking on crew. It's not like our positionings are going to be like transoceanic or anything like that. Let's see.
Keith asks, "Is the temp cooled down for us?" And it's been a lot cooler this end of the month than last. So yeah, it's pleasant enough that it's not unbearable during the day, and it's been pretty nice at night.
Well, a couple of teenagers they can donate. If your teenagers are like a 15-year-old fine wine,
or because actually,
if they're
really small, nimble, and mechanically inclined. I just managed to find the instructions on how to replace all the soar hoses on our boat, and it's about a day of work, but you need a small person. So if you've got a teenager who wants to do that for us, we'll entertain them. They can replace our soar hoses.
Yeah, we'll borrow those who are willing to go into our undersides of the boat. There we go.
We need a small person, and then
Oh, Ann and Elliot are here toasting us.
Oh, hey guys.
Hey, hope you guys and Catherine are doing well.
Catherine is their boat. They're recent boaters.
Yes, they bought their boat shortly after we bought Why Not. Dear friends of ours, Ann and Elliot, hoping to potentially
get our
cruise
boats together.
Hopefully we can cruise once we get up to the Savannah area together. Apparently we have Peter North here, an old porn star. Not quite sure about that one. Maybe I'll delete that.
Okay.
All right. I think we've been talking now for over an hour. I think it's time for us to probably go find some dinner.
Dinner? Dinner. We got to figure this dinner thing out.
So last comment, and Nikita's comment is they really enjoyed the live events. And we're finding that these live events are, number one, they're easier for us to do. They're more fun, more engaging. They get a lot more views. And our produced content isn't nearly as engaging. They take a heck of a lot more time to do.
So like we still have been filming a lot of footage around the boatyard and stuff that's going to go into videos. And Cherie spends like
hours.
The last video, two days editing the last video we did. And we get more views on these quick little live things that we've just kind of put together spur of the moment. But then we always, on these live events, we get comments from people saying, well, we want, I later on, not live, watching it live, people complain like, well, I wish you had more produced content. You know, nobody wants to watch live stuff. Well, clearly people want to watch the live stuff. There's more people watching it.
Yep, and it's more fun for us. So if you do enjoy the produced content, please do comment on it and let us know, because and view them, because we're actually considering significantly
back,
because I could spending 2 days editing a video that isn't being enjoyed is not fun. So we're considering potentially at the end of the Keys is not doing the Great Loop Travelogue series anymore.
And if you are just watching the live videos and you don't quite realize that we've got like a whole travelogue of the boating starting in when we departed Fort Myers and all the way down and around. If you have just, YouTube hasn't been recommending that for you, go back to the beginning and start watching it. Let us know what you think if you haven't watched the produced stuff at all, because there's a lot of great footage. There's dolphins, there's drone shots, there's all that other good stuff that we put effort into filming. Let us know what you think of it. But
if no one comments, then it's just not worth our while to do them. So it's a lot of effort. And remember, we're not doing this for money. We're doing it for the engagement. So please do engage on those as well, because a lot of effort goes into those. Whereas this live video chat is just us turning on a camera and chatting for an hour. Mm-hmm. Whereas this live videos, it's 2 or 3 days.
The produced videos, it's a lot of effort goes into it. And okay, there's cool. I love all the nice comments flying by, but awesome. Wow, a lot of comments flying by.
I'm glad a lot of you are liking it. So please, we just ask, watch the videos, comment, like them, because those are the ones that take the effort. And
let us know what you like. And if you don't like something, you don't have to let us know. You can just move on to another channel or watch what you like. I mean, we're not interested if you don't like it, but if you like it, tell us.
Yeah, I mean, I personally want the videos because they're a great recording, and it's a great use of the drone. And, we like having the recording of this journey, but they're a heck of a lot of effort.
Yes. So,
And we're not, unlike a lot of other YouTubers, we're not making an income off the videos, and we don't want to. Our income source is posting the mobile internet stuff, so that's our passion, that's our day job.
Right.
And we need more fun, not more work. So, all right, we're going to sign off tonight. Thank you guys for joining us. We really, really do appreciate having you along with us and having a place to share about what's going on in our lives. We're wishing you a happy holidays. I'm sure we'll do some impromptu live chats between now and then too as well.
And soon we'll be on the water again, and you guys will hear about it, whether it's not it's live or like later the next day. We'll do something from being back on the water. It will happen on YouTube.
All right.
Take care. Night.